I'm trying to dress for my color palette now. Can you tell? Oh, pick-me's. Before we get into this, I personally think that the word pick-me should be abolished from the English language because it is used so flippantly now. But nevertheless, I'm gonna be saying it about 72 times. So what can you do? What can you do?
So pick me. Choose me. Love me.
We've all been a pick-me. I think anyone that has wanted attention at any point and has done anything to get attention is a pick-me. If we're using the definition how we are using it. I think a pick-me is subjective. Different people think different things are pick-me. Like, it could literally be anything. So here is the official Merriam-Webster definition. We love definitions on this channel. We love vocab. We're learning some vocab. Maybe we'll have a vocab test next month. I'm wondering how Noah Webster feels about the words pick me and ate parentheses and left no crumbs. I wonder how he feels that those are in the official dictionary. I'd like to think he'd have a little chuckle. Because, you know, we've always had slang words, even though he doesn't look like the chuckling type, really. The short definition is just someone disingenuously seeking attention or approval. More used on social media and like TikTok and things. It's a little more nuanced than that. There's a little more to it. Pick me is a slang term for a person, usually a young woman, seen as behaving in a contemptible way for attention and approval, usually from male peers. It is most often used in the expression pick me girl, which disparages a young woman who is seen as faking interest in stereotypically male activities or conforming to traditional values at the expense of other women. So it's literally, it could be anything is the thing. It's also used in pick me boy. So boys, you're not safe out of this one. Okay. Referring to a young man who feigns emotional vulnerability to win the attention of women, which is sinister. Like, that's actually sinister. That's more sinister than a pick-me girl if you ask me. More generally, pick-me can refer to anyone thought to be trying too hard to earn acceptance. So we'll give some examples because I feel like someone who has never heard of this is like, what are you talking about? But most of you have probably heard of it. This is a very like nuanced thing. These are general examples that people use. So for example, a girl saying something like, I just don't get girls who wear all that makeup. It just looks cakey. I just want to be more real. Pointing something out to make you stand out, try to get attention while putting down other girls that enjoy makeup. Sometimes in social situations, being a pick-me can be putting down the friend next to you for your gain. Say like your friend makes a joke and the people around you start laughing and they think it's funny. And then you say something like, that wasn't that funny. I heard that joke the other day. That's a boomer. Or I think one of the most common ones, I just can't hang out with girls. There's like just too much drama. I can only hang out with guys. Okay, there are some girls that like do get along better with guys, but saying that like all girls are just drama and that's all they talk about, and it really matters what the intention is with that. So a lot of the times if someone says that, it's trying to get someone to be like, oh, you're different, you're actually cool. But we can't leave the guys out of this. I'm just different than other guys. Like, I don't even want to kiss you. I just want to hear about your feelings. So I tried to look deep in my heart and think of instances where I've been pick-me. And I know I've been pick-me, okay? I know. I even almost asked people that I know if they knew of times that I'd been pick-me, but I was not up for getting my feelings hurt. And when I was thinking about that, I was like, okay, I don't think I really had your typical pick-me experiences. I think my biggest pick-me time, I wasn't trying to impress the guys at school. No, I didn't care about them. I was trying to impress 5 guys who did not know of my existence on this earth. And I was also competing with millions of other girls for their attention. So, and as I was doing research for this, I went on BuzzFeed.net. It's actually .com, but I like .net better, and saw some examples that I thought were really interesting of what women said they thought were pick-me traits of women. So I was reading through them and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I got to number 7. And I felt like a camera was just zooming in on my face as I was sitting on my couch on my laptop at 2 a.m. When I'm talking to other women about shared interests and hobbies and they turn it into a competition to prove they're more invested. And I was like, this was me at one point. This was me. I'll have things that I'm like a big fan of, and I felt like I needed to know everything about that certain thing. I guess that was because it made me feel like I would get chosen, or that I felt closer to that thing. It just made me feel like I was an expert on something, or closer to the community if you like get all the inside jokes. I literally thought like, if I know everything about these people, then they will love me more. And I'm like, wait, it's kind of the opposite, because they would have been scared of me. Like they're gonna be scared, girl. There was even a saying for people that didn't know a lot about One Direction. It's called a carrot. So when I heard this example, I was like, wait, so all the people, including me, who were calling people carrots were being pick-me's technically. So you would get called a carrot if you didn't know, say, Louie's birthday. Just off top of your head. You'd be like, carrot. It's carrot. If you didn't know Harry's cat's name, carrot. And like, what are we gonna win from doing that? Like, what award are we getting? It sounds really wild when I say that out loud, but it was serious. It was really serious. It really was like bragging rights. Like how people will say, I was a fan of them before anyone else was. Like, I was here first, girls. As if we're supposed to like praise them and think they're cooler for it. I've done that before, so I cannot say a thing. I think not always, but for me, I guess it was because I wasn't getting like attention from actual people, and I was like wanting approval anywhere I could get it. So I was like, okay, well, I heard about Ed Sheeran in 2007, and he was playing the guitar on the sidewalk. But there's also the other side of that, which is the opposite, which is also the pick me, acting like I don't even care. I don't even know who you are. So you really can't win either way. And those people do usually get picked on that side though. That's the thing. Why do you think he liked her so much in Starstruck? She took it a little far and was actually literally like, I hate you, you are untalented, and get away from me. But it still worked. And why do you think her sister, who was obsessed with him, wasn't the main character? So this probably made people think, oh, this is how I should act to get their attention. Whether it's a celebrity or a guy you like in real life or someone you like, being almost rude or standoffish. And even if deep down you know these things about them, you act like you don't, or like you don't care. One of the examples that I've seen a lot is a girl at a concert reading a book. She's like, oh, they're up there singing, okay. And being like, I'm not a crazy fangirl like these girls. I'm just reading my book. But then sometimes it's like, girl, you were in the front row and you waited outside for 13 hours in the rain to get here. I think you're I don't think you're fooling anyone. And that's okay. That's okay. And I guess the other pick me behavior that I've done, because I'm being really vulnerable, is listen to music that I think certain people would approve of or think I'm cool for listening to. But a lot of the time I do actually end up liking the music, and then later on I'll forget why I even started listening to the music in the first place. Like an example of this was a member of 5 Seconds of Summer was like, I love the All American Rejects, like I love them. And I was like, okay, I'm a fan, I love them. I'd heard Move Along. It would always seem to be music for me where I would like listen to certain music because other people liked it. But I think that's also just a way to connect with people, because music I think is so intimate if you're listening to the same music. Because I always found the headphone scenes to be so intimate. Like when Jim and Pam, he's listening to music and he hands her one of the headphones, I was like, whoa, they are in love Like I said, TikTok is where pick me became like a big thing. It started out like where people would talk about things that really were pick me, and then it just turned into it. Literally anything is pick me. I think it's kind of made people afraid to express themselves. You know, every hobby is pick me, every interest is pick me. It's one of those things where you just have to let it go and let it free. You have to be free of the pick me. I don't know if it was as much of a thing before social media. Like, I know people were doing things for attention before social media, but I think the wording for that before this saying was more like fishing for compliments, where you would say something knowing that you don't believe it, saying like, I look so ugly today. When you like did yourself up, you are just, it's when you know. But now like every guy who's reading on the subway is accused of being a pick-me guy, when some of them are probably like, this is the only time I have to read. I have to commute to my 9 to 5 and I don't have time to read. Like, I'm just reading. I'm so sorry. So you really can't judge someone that you don't know and just automatically call them a pick-me. But there are sometimes when you can just tell. I try my best to not be like haterade. I don't know, this is like a whole other tangent, but it's a strange feeling when people got camera phones. There was this feeling that got added to everyone of someone could be filming me right now, or taking a picture of me, or watching me. I always find that when I'm watching videos from like the early 2000s and earlier, that people were just more relaxed. Like, people just seemed more relaxed in themselves and not questioning everything they did and feel like everything they do is cringy. And now, especially with like kids, I've noticed that some of them like seem to be performing. And of course now there's like the influencer accent and look, where it's just like a performance and you're acting like a certain way, because there is this thing where it's just like you just feel like there are cameras on you all the time. When you're thinking people are always watching and judging, it can also make you think your interests that you've had for a long time that you really enjoy are pick me, because you've seen someone say that online, when you know that it's not. Like, if you like something that's too manly, like I really like baseball and I've always liked watching baseball. Like, there are pictures of me as a kid with like baseball stuff on, going to baseball games, but I know for a fact people would call me pick me for liking baseball. Or the opposite, if it's like too girly or something, if you're like, I like cooking, then they're like, oh, you're just pick me, you just want someone to think, you just want guys to think like, oh, she's gonna cook for me, and you're just a pick me. When sometimes I think, now not all the time, but it seems like some people calling things pick me comes from a little bit of bitterness and jealousy sometimes, when it's something that, when the person or people that they're trying to get the attention from are not giving them the attention and they're giving it to someone else. That can hurt. It hurts. I know it hurts when that happens, but they're taking it out on that other person that's getting the attention. But you just have to do things that you like and align with what you enjoy, and like, don't worry about what anyone else thinks, even though that is the worst thing to say sometimes. Like, it's the most like the easier said than done thing on earth. I think the original version of this, when we really get down to it, is the help, I can't do this, like I can't. When you're at mini golf and you're like, I don't know how to hit the ball, like where does the ball go, like are you supposed to put it in that thing over there, like that kind of thing. And I feel like, especially the girlies, we've all like done little versions of that, because a lot of the times it works. Okay, I've seen it in action, it works. Because usually when you see someone doing that at a distance and it's like obvious that they're doing that, it's kind of cringy, you know, it's kind of like pick me, but you know, it's not like, it's like, okay, you go girl. Honestly, I kind of think that's cute sometimes when it's used like tastefully. I'm not great at some sports. Like, I've been to play disc golf a few times. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. I'm just genuinely bad at it. Like, I can be okay sometimes, like the short little, like the putting, I'm okay at that, but the long, like it's embarrassing. It's truly embarrassing, and I'm like, this could be considered pick me by the wrong person. Like, it really could. But just knowing deep down that I'm really bad at it, It was great. It's great. And I think that kind of stems from the whole like knight in shining armor thing. Like we've been told that we need it, and sometimes we like want the knight in shining armor. Like who doesn't want an ogre to come save us from the tower? I think we are all victims sometimes and being made to be like this because movies and media written by women portray men a certain way that a lot of them aren't really that way, so they kind of think they have to be a certain way. Like how in the definition it said something like feigning emotional vulnerability, that kind of thing. Usually men are written more like emotionally vulnerable because they gotta say something just to make it more interesting too. And the opposite, like when men write women, it's like the girl that just somehow knows how to fix a car and she like looks gorgeous while doing it, and so that makes girls think like, oh, I need to like do this stuff that I don't even really care about because that's obviously what he likes. Megan Fox, she does it, she's just fixing that car, but by doing something, trying not to be a pick-me, you are technically being a pick-me, so it's like a never-ending circle, and it's really draining and frustrating if you try to give into that and you just break through and you say, I don't care if I'm a pick-me, I pick me. And you are going to be influenced by what other people like, and that's inevitable. That's just how the world works. But I think truly the thing that makes someone like pick me is when you're putting down other people to bring yourself up. But we gotta get into the guys real quick. Just real quick, we gotta talk about this. So like I said, men are written a certain way. Girls talk about guys like they're not this way enough. Like I wish I had more, you know, this type of guy. Then they think like, oh, I need to be this. There was this one video that I saw that was just, I hope it was parody. He was in a library and he was just holding a book, and it was a caption at the top that said something like, I don't want to kiss you. I want to hear about your thoughts, babe. I want to hear about your thoughts, babe. Personally, I think there are some well-known men that I feel maybe not pick me, but very inauthentic, which therefore kind of makes them pick me, that I see all the time and people are falling for it. I just feel this in my bones that this is inauthentic and it is pandering to women. It is pandering. I just know it, even though I don't know them. And there was one time where I was proven correct. There was this girl that I didn't know her personally, but I saw that she had started dating this guy and I knew a little bit about him. He was kind of this type where the girlies loved him. The girlies loved him. I was like, he is doing this to solely get women's attention. I just felt something off about him. I just felt something off. This is probably pick me of me to say, but I felt something off about him. They started dating or whatever, and it later came out that he was not like how he portrayed himself online. Like, I'd rather you have like flaws and be kind of like off and be like yourself than be like the perfect picture perfect guy and be just totally inauthentic. We can't blame people for doing this. I mean, sometimes if it's like over the top, you can, but we can't blame people for continuing with the pick me behavior, because most of the time, if you do something that is pick me, then you do get picked. So if it's working, why would you stop? They'll give you that attention, or they'll like your picture, they'll swipe up, they'll give you a little double tap, maybe even get a friendship or relationship from it. It is just like fishing. It's like you throw out that line knowing there are fish out there. There are some fish that are gonna catch onto this. So as we find ourselves having pick-me tendencies, the attention that we think we need from people, it's never gonna be enough if you're just seeking attention from people. You have to find that within yourself, which is easier said than done, you know? So pick me.
Choose me. Love me.